Is on the air here on the Big Ten Network. So glad you could be with us here live from Ludwig Field as the Maryland Terps are set to host their first Big Ten matchup against a team that is perfect in league play at 1-0, the Penn State Nittany Lions. My name is Tony Lamarzi. Pleased to be here bringing you the play-by-play today, and I'm joined by my partner, Steve Powers, who is a former goalie here at the University of Maryland. And Steve, Maryland, the only team in the conference to start with 2 road games in the Big Ten, and they came with 2 pretty good results.
2 great results. It's good to be with you, Tony, first. And I'll tell you, for Maryland to go away, come back with the results they did, now to play at home in front of a great crowd on a Sunday evening is a bonus.
So the Terps managed to come from behind to earn a hard-fought draw in that opener against Indiana, and then they were looking for another draw, and then the final moments of the second overtime. The first goal of the year for Jake Rosansky, so the Terps come back 1-0-1 after 2 road games. As for the Nittany Lions, just that one game at home, but it was a convincing 4-2 victory against Ohio State. This is a team known for a very solid defense, but they exploded for 4 goals in that one, Steve.
Very interesting. Obviously, playing at Penn State brings a certain amount of confidence. But to score the first 4 goals, all in the first half, a great result for Penn State, for them to hold on 4-2. The other thing you want to remember, they start a freshman goalie, Tony, Ari Amon. And, you know, I think for the Terps tonight, lots of shots on goal, lots of follow-ups. But as we've seen for the Terps, they're out shooting opponents 2-1 to begin with.
Well, you mentioned the starting goalie. Let's go through the starting lineup. We'll begin with the visitors, the Penn State Nittany Lions. As you mentioned, Ari Amon is the freshman keeper. He wears number 1. 4 defenders in front of Amon. Left to right across the back, it's number 4, Brennan Ireland. Number 13, Robbie Sagal. Number 15 is Mitchell Bringhoff. And number 9 is Austin Maloney. They'll have 5 players in the midfield, 2 holding midfielders centrally. That's number 17, Cameron Steele. Number 8, Mason Clerks. And the 3 forward players in the midfield on the left side, number 7, Aymar Sige. Centrally, number 5, their big goal scorer is Connor Maloney. And on the right side is number 11, Pierre Reedy. And up top, number 10, Dayon Harris. So they've got a little bit of pop, even though this is a very good defensive team.
And, you know, I think what Penn State needs today to find success are they're going to have a big ask from their seniors. Mason Clerks in the center of the park, the number 8. He scored 2 goals against Ohio State, and also senior Connor Maloney, the number 5, a busy player, a player who likes lots of touches, a player who can spread the field out and find long passes and short ones.
Let's take a look at the starting lineup now for Sasha Surofsky and the Maryland Terps, dressed in their black and red vertical stripes here. The starting goalies, number 1, the senior Cody Niedermeyer. It's a 4-4-2 in front of Niedermeyer. Left to right across the back, 22 is Diego Silva. Centrally, number 5, Suli Denka. Number 4, Alex Cronale. The right back is number 28, Chris Odoy Atsam. The holding midfielder for the Terps is number 25, Cody Albrecht, the graduate student. In front of him is number 19, the sophomore Eric Williamson. On the left side of the midfield, number 10, Amar Sadic. And all the way across the field, the hero with the game-winning goal in double overtime in the most recent game, number 12 is Jake Rosansky. And the 2 starting strikers, number 9, Sebastian Elney, and number 8, Gordon Wild, a man who has scored 6 goals since coming over as a transfer. He is not done scoring. This is a guy who eats goals for breakfast. It's incredible.
Well, Tony, Gordy Wild is a guy who is dangerous anywhere on the field, loves to take players on, has a great left foot. I think Sasha is looking for him to pass a little bit more at times, find players open, because as soon as he gets the ball, defenders are collapsing on him. So there's got to be somebody open. How quickly can you find that man?
The Terps 4-0-2, undefeated, and the 2 ties, pretty good results. I mentioned that game at Indiana. 2 teams in the top 5 in the country, and then also UCLA in that season opener, going all the way to California for that game. So 4-0-2 is pretty good, even though sometimes you end up falling a little bit in the rankings when you get a tie. Those were good ties for the Terps.
Well, getting the results is one thing, but I think the production for the Terps at this point in the season, I think, you know, you really get to know your team by the beginning of October. But for Sasha and the Maryland coaching staff, they're finding results. They're taking shots on goal. They're getting tons of corner kicks. So the attack for Maryland is strong.
Here we go. We are underway in College Park. On the road, Penn State wearing their all white with the blue numbers. They'll be moving right to left. First long ball played out is out of bounds over the head of Aymar Sigay. Throw in for the right back for the Terps. That's Odoy Atsem, 28. He likes to get forward. Throw in there for the Terps' leading goal scorer, Gordon Wild. Good strength and skills. Brought it down off his chest. Fought through 3 players. Couldn't quite connect with Sebastian Elney. But good high pressure early from the Terps. And with the throw in right near the corner flag, the red and black shirts will come up and try to lock in the Nittany Lions. Brennan Ireland, the outside back, who's from Annapolis, Maryland, not too far from here in College Park. Terps win the throw in. The early long throw from Albrecht. Flicked in the box. Volleyed high in the air by Sagal. Albrecht nods it back down the line, but out of play. Another throw in for the Nittany Lions.
Tony, I think Penn State dropping back into a low pressure formation and Maryland trying to lock them in.
Brzezinski had it for a moment, taken away by Sigay. And here comes more high pressure from the Terps. Long ball from Sagal all the way across the field. Trying to pick out Pierre Reedy, but it's over his boot and out of play. Thrown on the far side, Diego Silva for the Terps. We'll get to see now, Steve, just how low the pressure is. Terps like knocking it around with their defenders and trying to pull out the opposing teams. It's a disciplined Nittany Lions team with their head coach Bob Warming, so they're not going to be sucked out too early. Harris applying high pressure. Not a great touch from Cronale, who had to send it long. And it's headed away by Penn State's Sagal. One back by Albrecht with the help of Sadic. Diagonal ball. Onside is Wild. Over to the corner flag. Gordon Wild skips away. Was deflected by the defender. Battling for it. And Sigay knocks it off of the defender and wins the throw-in.
A great ball by Sadic, a great diagonal run by Gordy Wild. Just couldn't get that cross off.
Posting up is Sigay. Never got to him. Brzezinski intervened for the Terps. Sigay managed to win it back. He's a big, strong dude, number 7 there for Penn State. Every throw-in they've had so far, they've tried to sort of have him posting up against one of the defenders. Silva under pressure from Reedy. Terps will keep possession. The diagonal ball is for Odoy Atsem. Tried to use some skills to get through the 2 defenders, but he's squeezed out. Sagal now plays a square for Bringolf. Taken away. The through ball for Sebastian Elney. One target in the box. Tried to play it in. Blocked. Good job by Bringolf keeping his arms down as the cross was blocked away. And out for the first corner, Aymar Sadic going over to take it for Maryland.
Not a bad result there for Elney. He only had Gordy Wild in the box, who was marked by at least 2 Penn State defenders there. So
every single player back defending inside the penalty area for Penn State. Cronale has come forward. That's the 6'5 defender for Maryland, number 4. The high curl ball into the mixer, punched away by Amman toward the top of the box. Not a great clearance under pressure, then just sort of blocked away that time by Steele, but it worked out okay. Here comes the counterattack. Deion Harris trying to get there. He has to step on the defender. Harris coming into the penalty box. Deion Harris takes an extra touch, dribbles the keeper, and loses it out of play. He never pulled the trigger. What a run, but he couldn't slide it past Niedermeyer. Amazing.
And I tell you, Niedermeyer came out, rushed the play, almost had a hand on Harris's ankle. Unfortunate. If Harris goes down in the box,
it looked like there was contact. It looked like Harris was thinking about it. It seemed like he had enough time to slide it past. A lot of the goalie was right in the middle. Wow. So the Terps dodge a bullet there.
Fortunate for the Terps.
If the result does not go Penn State's way, Harris is going to lose some sleep over that one, I think. That was a great counterattack.
Well, now we see the speed that Penn State has up top in Harris. The Terp defenders better take note.
Take another look. That one last touch right as he was getting into the box maybe took him a little too far. And then at the end he decided to dribble the keeper.
Niedermeyer did a great job in pushing him a little further wide. But Harris, instead of taking another touch, maybe a shot.
When you are a team that relies heavily on your defense, if you can steal an early goal on the road, it can go a long way.
And then pack it in.
And adding that belief, yeah. But nothing doing that time. And we'll see if it's sort of a wake-up call for Maryland. Played back in by Sagel. Alex Cronalet heads it. Battling for that second ball. There's a collision. Coach Zarowski, you could see him at the edge of the coach's box, wanted a foul as Seagay was sort of leaning on the Terps player. Possession for Penn State. Reedy. Good spin around the double team there. Advantage in effect. He's moving forward into the middle for Maloney. Connor Maloney. Rocastle creates some space. The cross is blocked by Albrecht. Good work by Eric Williamson coming back. Nittany Lions did a nice job winning it back. It's a positive start for the road team today. Marsiga chips it up early looking for Harris. And a nice play by Niedermeyer as it was escorted back to him by Alex Coronale. Sulidenka. Williamson dropping very deep to collect it. Here is Sebastian Elney as it knocked away by Clerks. Last touch by Maryland. Terps are getting ready to throw it. It looked as though Clerks was the player who knocked it out. Must have knocked it off the leg of the Terps player. Ball popcorning around. I think it may have come off the arm of Reedy accidentally. They said play on. Now on the other side of the field, there's some room for Ireland. Plays it out wide for Seagay. Seagay still has it. Lost it. Rosansky back defending. Sulidenka under pressure from Reedy. Spins back and knocks it back to the keeper. Dangerous pass back to the keeper. Pressure from Harris. Not a great clearance from Niedermeyer. And it's taken by Connor Maloney. Nice ball out for Jake Rosansky down the line.
Ball.
A nice ball all the way towards Gordon Wild. Cuts it back into the middle. Players across the field. Gordon couldn't quite pick out the right angle. Back to the right side. Rosansky. Here comes the overlap from Odoy Atsem. There goes the right back into the box, curling it into the middle, blocked away. It came off an arm. The rebound is still there. Coming out, the referee not interested in the handball. Still alive for the Terps. Another cross, headed away again. Once again, Albrecht for the Terps trying to put it back in. Rosansky. Some room for Amar Sadic, teeing it up. The shot is blocked again. And again, it's Cody Albrecht. To the back post, looking for Williamson over his head. He was well defended that time by Austin Maloney, and the right back runs it down near the corner flag. Good surge of possession there for the Terps, but every ball that was played in dangerously was handled pretty easily by the back line. May have been a handball on that first deflection that sort of bounced around a little bit. Terps will reset. The left back moving forward across midfield. Silva. Wild again. Slots it through. It's a little too far for Sebastian Elney. Nice idea. But the angle was not quite right that time. Ari Aman out to the edge of his area. If the last name sounds familiar there, fans from MLS will remember his dad, Mike Aman, who was a longtime MLS goalie. Most memorably, I think, with the Metro Stars in Kansas City. Finished his career with DC United.
Played his college days at Cal State Fullerton.
He was a good pro in MLS.
Yes.
Sadich with some room. Good skills to create some space. Williamson teeing it up. Still coming in toward the box. A lot of white shirts there. Almost drilled through all of them, but safety in numbers that time for Penn State. Just too many feet to get through. I like the creativity, though, from Eric Williamson. Sadis chipping it up for Elney. Nods it down to himself. Battling with Ireland. Takes it away. Ireland recovers. That was a pretty good battle that time.
Good battle.
Looked like there were 2 times where the Terps were breaking away. Ireland recovered nicely. Sadis for Albrecht. Rosansky to the top of the box. Sadich teeing it up, tried to flick it through. And it comes out for Connor Maloney, changing the point of attack. Another counterattack maybe on for the Nittany Lions. The long ball played ahead, off target. On that ball that was played square, Steve, I thought maybe Sadich was going to go after it one time.
One time would have been perfect. He tried to take 2 touch, got closed, and lost it. But Jake Rosansky doing a great job from width, getting balls served in, finding players. Just a little bit of, a bad touch here or there, or the opportunity, like you said, to take it first touch.
There's Jake Rosansky on the ball again. Slide ahead for Elney. Tried the back heel that time. It didn't work off. Good hustle there from Rosansky. A little too much, though, as he went in. So Rosansky, a transfer from the University of Virginia, and had been playing a lot, starting most of the games, all of the games for the Terps. But you sort of get the sense that after his game-winning goal in overtime, you can sort of see him a little bit more energized today. He's active in the first 10 minutes or so here.
And that's what makes him dangerous. You know, a player who takes 1 and 2 touches, finds space, creates space. That's what they need from Jake Rosansky. And he looks like he's playing with confidence.
There were times early in the season where he would sort of drift away from the game and not really be involved as much. One of the players, the shot is blocked. One of the players, Rosansky, that Coach Surofsky wanted the ball, a creative player, can do a lot of stuff offensively, but they have to worry about defending here. Connor Maloney playing it in, blocked away by Albrecht. The intended target was Sigay. Wild under pressure, tried to knock it off the defender, but it's taken away. Sigay coming toward the top of the box, weaving in toward the penalty area, still barreling forward. Terps having some trouble clearing it, like a pinball. That time, it came off the elbow of Reedy, and the handball is given.
Sasho having some words with Gordy Wild on that giveaway right here. He doesn't want his striker coming all the way back into the defensive end. He wants him stretched out, pushed up on the last defender.
Sasha Surofsky, you can see his amazing numbers at the University of Maryland. 2 national championships. And they are on a current streak of 4 consecutive conference tournament championships. They've won the last 2 in the Big Ten. Before the conference move, they had won their last 2 in the ACC. So 4 straight conference tournament championships, which is just outrageous. A turnover. Terps trying to strike quickly. Wild. Numbers back, though, quickly for Penn State. Williamson with some room for Albrecht. Still has it moving forward. Was surrounded quickly. Couldn't spray it out wide. You could see him apologizing that he wanted to try to pick out Odoyatsam, who was running down that right side. Granale quickly in for Rosansky. 1 touch out wide. Here's Odoyatsam. Rosansky again. Long diagonal ball intended for the right back, Odoyatsam. Headed back in by Granale. Rosansky has it now with some space. Coming to the top of the box. Jake Rosansky into the penalty area. Out wide for Gordon Wild. Teeing it up. Strikes it. Deflected. And smashed away near the top of the 6. Out of play. Thrown to be taken quickly. Nope. You could see Odoyatsam grab the ball from the ball kid very quickly, but couldn't find the right target. And a little trip on Elney as the defender went diving for it. Free kick coming out for Penn State.
Sebastian just getting his arm up a little bit, hooked him, spun him around.
It was a good start for Penn State. They had that great chance about 5 minutes in on that long counterattack after the corner, which they failed to score on. But since then, the Terps have settled down. A lot of the possession now in the attacking third for Maryland. No very dangerous chances. A couple of decent attempts from distance that were blocked, never made their way to the keeper. So if you're a freshman keeper, you really appreciate your defenders throwing their bodies in front of the ball. Silva directing traffic. Williamson tried to play it through. Elney went down. Went down in a strange way. There was no contact. Looked like maybe he got injured there. He's going to get up on his own, maybe trying to sort of play it off a little bit that he didn't have his run timed exactly right. Albrecht heads it back. Battling again is Elney. Nice stop and go move to create some space. Chipping it in. Looking for Wild just beyond him. It looked like that time the keeper wasn't really in a very good position. If it had dropped for Wild, Amman was sort of in no man's land, but as it got past the striker, he could scoop it up on the bounce.
Well read by the freshman keeper. Off his line. No problem.
Long ball over the top. Onside is Reedy. Coming into the middle. He's got players running with him. Sigue teeing it up on his right. Shoots, blocked by Albrecht. And blocked away by Silva. Slotted ahead. Onside. Wild, who's drifted out wide. Crossing it into the ground behind the defender. The second ball comes out for Eric Williamson. Tried to combine with Sadic in the middle. Ireland trying to drive it long. Couldn't get his foot around it. Straight out of play. Elney trying to tap it forward for Rosansky. Subs coming in now for Penn State. Number 23 is Riley Grant. And number 21 is Noah Pilato. And leaving, 17, Cameron Steele.
Penn State substitutions replacing Amar Sigue, number 21. A redshirt sophomore out of Oakville, Virginia, Noah Pilato.
Rosansky for the Terps.
Replacing Cameron Steele.
Eric Williamson wins the free kick.
A senior out of Kobe, Ohio, Riley Grant.
Rosansky. 3 players around him trying to find somebody open. Couldn't manage to do it. Crossing toward the back post. Alex Cronale was there but couldn't head it down. Goal kick.
Well, the Terps have seemed to have settled down, Tony, just in terms of their patience, their ball control, their ability to get crosses and people in the box. They're knocking on the door.
Aymar Sigue has gone out. Pilato, 21, comes in. They'll move him over to the right side. And the original right-sided midfielder, Reedy, has come over to the left side. Over the head of Reedy toward Harris. Knocked away. The other sub, Riley Grant, elevating, heading the ball down. But the referee saying he came through the Terps player, Rosansky. Free kick coming out for Maryland. Elney flicking it forward toward Wild. Keeper coming out. Good communication with the center back, Bringolf. Long distribution that time by Amman. Headed back by the Terps. Denka flicked forward towards Elney. He couldn't get to it before Sagal, who blocks it away. Outside wide for Pilato. Working with Maloney on the overlap. And now Dayan Harris. Dayan Harris trying to go one-on-one. Blocked away by Denka. Last touch by Penn State. Goal kick for the Terps. Excellent one-on-one defending that time by the Terps senior, number 5, Suli Denka.
Suli, one of the unsung heroes on this team. The two center backs, he and Alex, do a great job in terms of their directing, their leadership, but both are great at one-on-one.
It is a luxury to have 3 seniors on your back line. A lot of sophomores in this starting lineup for Maryland, but in the back, 1 sophomore and 3 seniors, plus the goalie also a senior, so 4 out of the back 5 all seniors, which is a good way to make sure everything stays organized. Free kick against Maryland there. Nice interplay here, and the ball is slided through. Intended for Harris, a little too far, but that was nice build-up play there as the substitute Grant working with Connor Maloney that time. Rosansky straight ahead for Sadich. Chipping it up, looking for Wild. The flag is up, the flag is up. The flag is up, he missed it anyway. Nice ball curled in there from Sadich. Good first touch.
It's good.
The run was a little bit mistimed, and the flag came up right away. Nice idea, though, from the Terps.
Sadek finding that space in behind the defense. Gordy running onto it. Just half a step over. Yep. Maybe a yard or 2.
Terps have done a nice job getting different players in that middle of the field. We've seen Rosansky in there, Williamson too. It's sort of keeping the Nittany Lion defense a little shifted, making sure they can keep track of whatever players are drifting into the middle. Elney battling. Rosansky has it poked away toward the sideline. Hard sliding play by Maloney. Blocks it out. Connor Maloney, number 5. Austin Maloney, the outside back, number 9. Odoyatsum looking for Wild. Over his head, headed back by Sagal. Terps will control it with Cody Albrecht. High diagonal ball towards Rosansky, over his head, running through is Odoyatsum, and he's going to get to it right near the end line. The right back keeps it in play. Cuts it back for Rosansky. Here's Cody Albrecht, teeing it up, curling it in toward the back post, headed away. Silva keeps it alive, twice actually. Finally it's blocked away. Another possible counterattack for Penn State. The diagonal ball slows it down, a little bit behind Grant, but he has it, moving forward again. Ireland under pressure from behind, and no foul. The referee put the whistle towards his mouth and then said, nah, that wasn't really a foul. So throw in taken quickly by the Terps.
Tony, I would have loved to seen Odoyatsum get that serve in. I think the Terps had numbers in the box for a service at the time, but he pulled it back out, brought it around, and then all of a sudden a steal, and you've got a counterattack.
It's always tough for the defenders when they're running at their own goal. If you sort of drive that one low toward the near post, the advantage is for the attacking players. This is another long ball over the top, dealt with by Sagal. Nice skills to control there by Riley Grant. Austin Maloney into the middle of the field. Diagonal ball from Clerks was deflected away. Both of these teams undefeated in league play. The Terps have 1 win and 1 tie. Penn State has only played 1 game, but it was a convincing 4-2 victory over Ohio State. Nice turn there from Clerks initially. Ran into 2 more Terps. The ball pinballs around. And Silva went flying forward, didn't get it, and now the Terps are out of balance defensively. Good work by Eric Williams, and that's the attacking midfielder there, dropping back as he knew Silva had sort of gotten out of position. That's a good skills again, and now Sadich coming forward. He's got players running with him. Couldn't tell if he passed it or may have been knocked away from behind. Either way, the Nittany Lions have it back. Long diagonal ball for Dayon Harris to chase. Cronal is there first, safety first, straight out. 20 minutes to go here in the first half. It's been eventful. Some nice back and forth play. No breakthrough goal yet. An excellent chance. I think still the best chance in the game was that long breakaway on the counterattack from Dayon Harris, who got all the way into the penalty area, dribbled the keeper, but couldn't get the shot off. Brennan Ireland ready to take the throw. There's Harris. Uh-oh, that was a miss. Substitution for Maryland. You saw him coming in there, number 11, DJ Reeves, and leaving is number 9, Sebastian Elney. Another substitution for the Terps is that man, number 17. That's Jorge Calix. And I think he's going to have to wait.
Tony, it is a hot day today. A lot of humidity in the air. I imagine both teams are going to get some players on.
Reeves immediately going one-on-one, wins a corner. There aren't a lot of teams in the country that have their leading assist man coming off the bench, but that is DJ Reeves.
Right?
3 assists, and he's not one of the starters, but he makes an impact when he's in there, very fast. I don't really think he's that creative of a player. He's good in the penalty area, and sometimes if you do the work and just lay it off to your teammates, you can pick up some assists, as DJ has shown with his 3 for Maryland. Sadic, high toward the penalty spot, volleyed away. That was not a very good corner. Dinka. Odoyatsem going one-on-one. The crowd likes the shakes that time by Chris. Not a great touch there by Wild. Good intervention by Clerks. Terps still get it back, though they're doing a great job winning the second balls. The back heel from Sadic for the overlapping. Silva, maybe a little too fancy that time, and it's out for a goal kick for Penn State.
Well, Diego not on the same page with Sadic. The back heel just goes out of bounds.
Ari Amman sending everybody deep. So far, so good for the freshman keeper. Good elevation that time by Rosansky to get to it. Second ball picked up by the Nittany Lions, though. Pilato had it for a moment. Couldn't do much with it. Odoyatsem slots it forward. Some room for Jake Rosansky to run into. A lot of white shirts back, though, again, for Penn State. Wild, changing the point of attack. Blocked away by Austin Maloney. I think Maloney was thinking about trying to take it with him and run, but he thought, you know what, I better play it safe just in case.
It's a dangerous ball.
It's an organized defense here for the Nittany Lions, so the Terps are going to have to come up with some pretty good play to sort of weave their way through them, as they like to do. That sort of intricate passing and through balls that they like working with is going to be tough today. Reeves posting up, good strength that time. Tried to lay it back off, but gave it away. Couldn't get to Williamson. Riley Grant picked it up. Terps trying to win it back. Reeves again battling. Little tugging there. Good strength by Mason Clerks, the senior for Penn State, to keep it alive. If he had lost it, maybe it would have been a foul anyway, but no need because of the good work from Clerks that time. Posting up his Dayon Harris. That was actually a good little bit of one-touch passing from Penn State until Connor Maloney couldn't quite keep it. Another long ball from Odoyatsem. Ireland. The second ball comes for Sadic. 4 white shirts around him, and he just gets crowded out. And then he gets called for the foul as he pulled down Bringolf.
What's interesting, Tony, is it looks like there's space in behind the Penn State defense, but with Amman playing off his line, that space is shortened really quick. So it's going to take a great ball over the top. Otherwise, the Terps have to play either a diagonal ball through or play in front of that defense.
A lot of times when the defense is sort of lagging back, another option is try to take some shots from distance. But even though the Lions were dropping back, they still managed to block 3 or 4 good shooting opportunities for Maryland. Clerks. Austin Maloney chips it up, looking for Harris. Controls it nicely. Good job keeping possession. He couldn't keep it moving forward, but he kept it alive for his team. Still coming forward. Then a nice sliding play to keep it alive. Here's Reedy sliding in. Is Odoyatsam. He got the ball first. A dangerous slide, but he did make a good defensive play. Stepping in to intervene is Ireland. There is Calix coming in. Jorge Calix, number 17. He will replace Eric Williamson, and also number 6, George Campbell, coming in. That's the other striker. You see him there. And, of course, the last time these two teams played, Steve, it was a hat trick for that man, George Campbell, coming off the bench. Only played 45 minutes in the game. Managed to score a hat trick. Incredible.
At Penn State.
That's right, 1 year ago.
Let's see if he can save some of that magic.
Yeah. Penn State fans watching this game must be like, that guy's not even a starter. He scored a hat trick against us last year. But so it goes. It's another part of the testament to the depth that this team has for Maryland. I mentioned the leading assist man coming off the bench, and also the man who has a hat trick coming off the bench as well. Tried to slide it through for DJ Reeves. It looked like it sort of went under his boot. He may have taken his eye off it. Nice idea from the center back, Suli Denka. Somehow he found the space on the ground to slot that 30-yard pass to him, but they couldn't connect.
As DJ checked back, it did look like he was open, and he had about 3 or 4 yards from his defender, but it did slip under.
Flicked forward by Reedy. Giving chases Harris. Coronale there first for Maryland. Turns away, smashes it long. Campbell giving chase. Blocked away by the defender. Good speed there by Sagel. It looked for a moment like maybe Campbell's going to have a chance at it, but the center back doing a good job using his speed and getting the right angle. Odoyatsam over the top again. I don't think Reeves really saw that ball. Reeves a very fast player, but it never really got going. I don't think he knew exactly where it was going to end up.
Sagel doing a great job for the Penn State defense in the middle there. He's got his hands full. He had his hands full with Elney, with Gordy Wild, and now with George Campbell.
Yep, that's number 13. The senior center back coming over to take this free kick now. He's going to take a moment or two and try to catch his breath. It's got to be pretty frustrating for a center back, working hard, as you mentioned, against Elney and Wild, and then two other guys, a very fast Reeves with fresh legs, and then a crafty player who can score goals like Campbell. That free kick was driven in toward the top of the box. Scooped up, not towards anyone. Terps keep it in play. They're always trying to win every game here at home. So far, so good. They're perfect, 3 for 3. And it's been a very impressive 3 games. They beat Georgetown 2-1. And they beat South Florida 4-1. And a 5-0 win against Hartford. So 11 goals for and 2 against in their home games to start the season. Reeves into the middle for Rosansky. Players running with him. Slotted out wide. The right back is Odoyatsam. The early cross toward the back post. Reeves came crashing in, but he was well defended. It was a very nice play as he used his body well. It was Bringolf who took a pretty hard hit from Reeves. DJ was going for the ball, but crashed into the defender who was well positioned. Let's take another look.
Bringolf, who has position there, freshman defender for Penn State, had great position on DJ Reeves.
You had mentioned that you like Odoyatsam getting that ball in early. That time it was just a one-touch cross, and it was dangerous.
Very dangerous.
Reeves sort of jumping up to block it, keeps it alive for his teammates. Here's Diego Silva, under 10 minutes to play now. Campbell. Sadic keeps it moving out wide. Odoy Atsam again getting involved. Curling it in, right at the keeper. Nobody was crashing into that near post. Seemed like there may have been a chance to get there first, just sort of diving in front of him, right?
Beat the keeper to it. Yeah, it was a low serve. I think for Chris, he's got to get that to the back post if he can, a little bit higher.
Nice play there by Cronale to knot it back. It looked like Rosansky was playing it back to the keeper anyway, but Cronale, by using his head, gave his keeper the opportunity to pick it up if needed. Didn't really matter in the end, but it was a smart play anyway. Jorge Calix, one of the recent subs. Down the sideline for George Campbell. Tries the sombrero. The second defender is there. That's Bringolf, who smashes it away. Subs coming in now for the Terps. 23 is Keegan Kelly, the freshman from Baltimore. Sadic coming out. And also another freshman, the 6'5 defender Donovan Pines from Clarksville, Maryland. He's coming in. And for Penn State, number 26 is Sam Bollinger. He's going to go up top, and Harris is going to get a rest.
Number 23, a freshman out of Baltimore, Maryland, Keegan Kelly. And replacing Diego Silva, number 2, a freshman out of Clarksville, Maryland, Donovan Pines.
So now the Terps, with number 2 and number 4 out there, have 2 center backs that are both 6'5".
They're trees.
That's pretty rare.
And you have Sully pushing out to the left now with Diego Silva off.
Calix brings it down off the chest, trying to turn, has to go backwards. And this is Pines getting his first touch. Slots it in towards Campbell. Albrecht helping out. All the way back to the keeper, Niedermeyer. Pressure's getting a little bit lower now for Penn State, Steve, and I think with the clock winding down, they're thinking about maybe getting into the locker room, keeping that 0 on the board.
Yeah, they're resting, right? Resting legs and just trying to keep a shutout.
Well, they'll have to deal with the corner now. The last corner was not very effective, taken by Sadic, but the 2 6'5 defenders are coming forward. This time it's going to be that man, Calix, ready to take it. It'll be curling away from the keeper. Let's see what the Terps can do here. Here he comes. Cronulla heads it down. It's loose. Posting up was Albrecht. He couldn't turn. He couldn't backheel it. He just sort of seemed like had an eternity there without anything to do with it.
Unbelievable. He had a player right on his back. Couldn't turn, couldn't pull it back. He was in traffic. Maybe a back heel.
Cody Albrecht does a lot of good work for the Terps. Very effective winning the ball back. Doesn't find himself in front of the goal like that too often. He sort of made this face like, uh-oh, now what? Reedy working with Grant. You could see Sasha Sarovsky at the bottom of the screen there. He thought the ball was deflected last touch by Penn State. The refs did not agree. The throw-in was taken. Now the Nittany Lions running forward is the right back Maloney, doing a nice job trying to accelerate and drew the free kick as Suli Danka sort of shoved him down. Danka slid out to that left back position when Pines came in, and it was Silva who went to the bench. So now an opportunity, kind of against the run of play here, for Penn State to maybe steal one in the last few minutes of the half.
Penn State sending everything, the kitchen sink as well.
Riley Grant. High ball toward the back post. My goodness, if you're trying to If you're trying to steal a goal before halftime, you're going to need a better ball
That's a
than that.
waste.
That one never had a chance. Yep.
Unfortunate.
Christian Slode is coming in. That's 24 for Penn State, and going out is Reedy. And for the Terps, number 20 is Luca Levy, the freshman from Kingston, Jamaica. And Rosansky's going out.
Well-deserved rest for Rosansky.
Offsides on that long ball that was played forward. Granale heads it towards Albrecht, keeps it moving. Kelly going after it, but instead it's taken away. Grant plays it out wide for Maloney. DJ Reeves is stepping back in to knock it away. And Levy tried to play it out wide. Good hustle from the fresh legs of Bollinger. Throw in over near the corner flag.
Penn State's going to lock the Terps in here. Terps going to bring Donovan Pines over for a long toss.
That was not quite as long as they were hoping for, I think, Steve. Yep.
Penn State substitution, replacing Mitchell Bringhall, number 18.
Another substitution, one of their players who starts occasionally, Danny Marks.
Out of Israel, Danny Marks.
Replacing 15, the other center back, Bringolf. Ireland ready to take the throw. There it goes in toward the 6, flicked on. And a push off there on Penn State, so a lot of fragmented play here over the last few minutes with bad throws and free kicks that go sailing towards nothing, and then a push off there. The heat and humidity may be starting to take its toll a little bit, although there are a lot of subs out there. You'd think they'd like their opportunity to, you know, give it all they have for 5 minutes or 8 minutes. Now we're down to the final 2. Long ball over the top. Out of his box. Dangerously is Niedermeyer. He was under pressure from Slode, who just came in a few minutes ago. He almost blocked the clearance from the keeper. Penn State coming down the right side with Maloney. Austin Maloney takes a touch into the attacking third against Calix. Stop and go, cuts it back. There's some room here for Riley Grant. Back to the right side. Clerks. Down the line again for Austin Maloney. Clerks again into the middle for Connor Maloney. Looks like he might have gotten hit in the face. The ball stays alive. The cross into the middle, headed away by Pines. Reeves going after it, battling with Mason Clerks, who takes it away. Mason Clerks keeps it rolling, and then it's smashed away by Danka. None of the Terps were that far forward, so Penn State will have a chance to regroup. It's headed back by the recent sub Marks, so Amon can pick it up if he wants to. Back to the keeper. Not a great clearance that time by Amon. Ball deflected out. Last touched by Maryland.
You're right, Tony. You know, the last couple of minutes have been disjointed. You know, you've got new players on. Nobody's sort of found a rhythm. So it's kind of been a bit haphazard.
Albrecht playing it forward. Kelly down the line towards Campbell. I mentioned his hat trick. One of his goals came with 2 seconds left in the first half 1 year ago, but nothing like that today as the clock winding down past 2 seconds. And there is the horn for the end of the first 45 minutes. Penn State doing a nice job on the road, keeping their shape defensively, trying to take their chances on the other end when they can. They missed a beautiful chance 5 minutes in. And as for the Terps, a lot of good possession, a lot of dangerous opportunities, but nothing to really threaten that freshman keeper, Steve.
You know, Terps did a great job in terms of getting balls wide, getting service in, some corner kicks, some restarts. Just got to get that, finish that last piece of the puzzle, take some shots on goal, and really put out an effort against Amon in goal.
So we'll see what the coaches come up with in the second half. I think it's going to be more of the same for those guys in white. Sasha Żurawski, I'm sure, wants the Terps to be a little bit more creative and try to get that breakthrough goal. They're a perfect 3-0 here at home, trying to make it 4-0. Will they do it? Well, stick around and we'll all find out together. The second half is coming up in just a few moments. Keep it right here. Welcome back to Ludwig Field, everybody, the home of the Maryland Terrapins. And we are scoreless here at halftime, just about set to begin half number 2. Ludwig Field is also a great atmosphere. Nice crowd here on a Sunday night, the game a little bit early. Coach Żurawski and his staff trying to get things ready, trying to stay perfect at home. They did a nice job in that first half, creating some opportunities. My name is Tony Lamarza. I'm here with Steve Powers. And Steve, I think the one thing for the Terps, they just need to be a little bit sharper in that attacking third.
A little bit sharper just in the final third. You know, it's just really, to me, it's about work, that energy, the patience, all of the composure. Right, but it's about work, to roll up the sleeves just in that final third, just to get those defenders out of the middle. And the Terps have their work cut out because Penn State, as we know, has a good defense.
The crew here, as I know, that's the student section for the Terps. They are looking for that breakthrough goal. They always bring a lot of enthusiasm, and they have some good, entertaining play in front of them, but no goals yet. It's a big day in the Big Ten. 3 games already underway, already completed today in the men's soccer world. Michigan traveled to Michigan State, and the Spartans prevailed 1-0. Rutgers, who has been struggling, they lost again at Ohio State 3-1. So Rutgers falls now to 0-3, and a little bit of an upset. In Bloomington, Indiana, the Hoosiers were held to a 0-0 tie to Northwestern, so that's good news for the Terps, as when you look at the national standings, only Indiana and Maryland, the only teams in the whole top 25 out of the Big Ten.
Which, you know, I'll be
Almost
shocked
unheard
if
of, right?
Yeah, and I'll be shocked if the season ends up that way. I could see Penn State getting votes. I can see Ohio State getting votes. Michigan State, who the Terps will see on Friday night.
Yeah, big game coming up. I'll be here with Jeff Rohrman. That game is at 7:30, so you can start making your travel plans to get out here to Ludwig Field. The 7:30 kickoff in that big game between Maryland and Michigan State. Michigan State, after their win today, they are a perfect 2-0. They beat Rutgers. They beat Michigan. And how about Wisconsin? Not one of the teams you'd think of coming in. They're also at the top of the conference, 2-0. They are the one team that is not in action today, so they're just sitting back, enjoying first place for as long as they can.
You know, I think with Maryland joining the Big Ten, every team has raised a bar, raised the standard. I think all through this season, you'll see very, very close games in the Big Ten.
I think you're right, Steve. We're witnessing one right now. 0-0 through the first 45 minutes. The Terps, I think, over the course of the whole 45 minutes, were the more dangerous team, but the best chance certainly came for Penn State. Terps had a corner kick, and then on an excellent counterattack, the Nittany Lions went all the way down the field, sliding a through ball for their speedy forward Harris, who dribbled in the keeper and couldn't quite get the shot on target. So we'll see what happens here, what adjustments the teams have made. Looks like the Terps are going back out there with the players who started the match. 6 subs came off the bench for the Terps, 5 for the Nittany Lions. So it'll be Elney and Wild up top. Eric Williamson is drifting out to the side here, and it's Sadich, number 10, right there at the base of the center circle. Rosansky is back out there, as you can see in the background there. And we'll see what happens to begin this half. Terps trying to stay perfect here at home, and with a win, Penn State could join the likes of Michigan State and Wisconsin at a perfect 2-0 in league play. So a lot on the line over the next 45 minutes.
Tony, a big shout out to Vancho Sarowski, Sasha's brother,
Right.
who's tuned in.
Excellent.
He'll be in town for that Michigan State game. He's a big Michigan State fan, but not next week.
Right. Most of the time, he's for Michigan State. I don't think he could celebrate Thanksgiving and Christmas if he was going to be cheering against the Terps in those games. But he is a big-time supporter. Tries to make it into town whenever he can. We're just about set to get going here in half number 2. The Terps will start with the ball, and they'll knock it all the way back to their center back, Cronale. Early long ball. Headed away by Austin Maloney. Pierre Reedy turns it forward. Noah Pilado, who is one of the subs, he starts the second half out there. Some coaches like to go back to their starting lineup. Others like to let some players that finish the half stay in rhythm for a few minutes. Pines is out there. He was a sub. So it's not the exact starting lineup. Silva stays on the bench for the Terps. Sigue plays it ahead for Harris. Stumbled a little bit as he was trying to control it.
Tony, and for Penn State, Connor Maloney, that senior midfielder, is still off.
That's probably the position where Pilado is, sort of dropping a little behind Harris, who's the starting striker. He didn't finish the first half, but he's back out there now. That's number 10. That's the player who had that excellent chance 5 minutes into the first half. Chris O'Doy-Otsem was under pressure, did a nice job to find some space, working backwards, and now here comes Donovan Pines, the freshman. Some room for Suli Denka. Early down the line. Onside is Wild. Tried to get his foot around it, sailing on him. Still in play and then knocked out. I thought it was going to go on top of the goal, but somehow, even though it was floating, they managed to stay in play, and an alert play by Brandon Ireland to knock it out for the corner.
The right play by Ireland, right? Just touch it out of bounds, out of danger. He couldn't see what was behind him. He was tracking the ball. It's the right touch.
The corner toward the back post. Pines heads in off the top of the crossbar and over. The 6'5" defender elevated well, but couldn't quite get on top of the ball to keep it down. And it is a goal kick, a nice opportunity there, and that was certainly the best corner the Terps have taken.
It's good service and well up, well timed by Donovan Pines. Got to try to knock that one down if he can.
Pretty much unmarked initially.
Yeah. How do you unmark that guy?
Incredible. Get a body on him or something, even if it's a little guy. So a sub already, just 2.5 minutes in for Penn State. Riley Grant comes back in, and Pilado goes to the bench. Albrecht heads it back. Chested down by the Terps. Wild. Gordon Wild plays it in toward the middle. Comes back out for Rosansky. Blocked away. Throw in for the Terps.
I thought Grant did a good job in that first half coming off the bench for Penn State.
Yeah.
Just clogged up the midfield, got a lot of touches, just created a little bit of havoc.
That's number 23 in there, right in the center of your field. Pines weaving forward. Under some pressure all the way back. Another long ball from Pines, looking for Sebastian Elney. He gets his head to it. Williamson nods it down for Sadis, juggling it up, looking for Wild. The overhead kick blocked. That would have been spectacular, but it worked out. Good creativity and good buildup from the Terps. High pressure from Williamson. He keeps it in play. Getting it back on his right. The cross toward the back post. Wild was open, but it was over his head. That's a good surge from the Terps.
Really good surge.
There by Wild.
Utilizing a long ball at first, right, into
Yeah.
Elney, did well. And a good combination to play off of him.
Sadis juggling it up, and watch that acrobatic attempt. Good job defending there. A couple of players there.
Bringoff
yeah.
took the brunt of that foot. right in the back.
Grant heads it forward for Penn State. Rosansky gets to it, but then he gives it away to Sigay. Blocked out. So Sigay, Aymar Sigay, number 7, he had a good start to the game, but he spent a lot of time on the bench in that first half.
Yeah, I don't know whether he was winded or he made a lot of runs early in the game.
That's him, that big, fast player who was running in toward the penalty area just then. The Nittany Lions have won it back. Here's Austin Maloney. Sadich diving in, trying to take away from Mason Clerks. Good job from the senior, though. Clerks has done a nice job keeping possession when he gets it. Slotted ahead. Here is Reedy trying to go against Pines. Gets around him. Gets knocked over. Gets up. And the referee's pointing to the goal kick.
Donovan Pines riding him out of bounds there. Not enough for a foul.
Terps will take this one short. And now the defender driving along, ball towards Elney, flicks it up, looking for Wild. It's bouncing towards him. The second defender coming over. This is an organized defense. That time it was Sagel coming over. Bringolf was marking initially. And though it seemed like there was a sliver of space, the second center back came over to sort it out. Terps have it back, quickly moving on the opposite side. Odoyatsa. Rosansky. Some space in the middle here for Sulidenka. Williamson, not a great first touch, poked away and taken away by Penn State. Nice job there by Pierre Reedy. Then he ran into trouble. Working with Clerks. His clearance is blocked. Good hustle. Good high pressure from Maryland. They have some room. Sebastian Elney battling with Clerks again. Keeps it moving for Denka. The cross is blocked. Smash from close range right into the head of Mitchell Bringolf, who got hit in the head very hard. Even he's got those sort of glasses on. You can see him sort of shake, right? Yeah. He was not braced at all for that cross to hit him right in the side of the head. I think a piece of the
glass came out as well.
It's not too common to see soccer players wearing glasses like that, right? You get the sense you can't really head the ball the right way. I can only think of Edgar Davids. Remember him? Always running around with those weird sunglasses. See that Bringall still trying to shake the cobwebs out. Got to be very careful with head injuries, of course, in this day and age.
He's got to come off.
Number 18 is Danny Marks, who came in just for the last few minutes of that first half. So he should be a little bit loose. Meanwhile, after it hit the player in the head, it went out for a throw-in. Sulidenka to the end line. Keeps it in play. Enough to get the cross off, but couldn't whip the cross around. And it's a goal kick. Ari Aman. We talked about the entertaining first half, but when you look up at the scoreboard, neither keeper, Steve, had to make a save. So even though there have been some sort of chances and some good possession, no real dangerous opportunities to score. The one most dangerous play was, of course, that breakaway. That they didn't even really shoot it, just sort of rolled wide in the end. And then early in this half, the Terps had that header off the top of the crossbar, but that doesn't count as a save either, because it was, I guess, not technically on target.
And the one thing that won't show up on the stats is I give Cody Niedermeyer a save on that breakaway, that counterattack by Harris, by forcing him, by making Harris make a decision early to touch it for a little further wide.
Aymar Sigay playing it back into the middle. Long diagonal ball, trying to incorporate Reedy. Brings it down nicely. Has players running with him. Good job by Albrecht to block it away. Sadich picks it up, and now turning is Sebastian Elney. Goes around Mark, still Elney, the diagonal run. And now it's laid off for Rosansky, shoots, and he hit it wide.
Great run.
It was a great diagonal run from Wild that took the defenders away. Elney cut back in the middle, laid it off right in stride for Jake Rosansky, who couldn't make it 2 games in a row with the goal, and it's out for a goal kick.
Fortunate for Penn State, their defense got pulled apart. Rosansky with a great first touch. Put it to the far post, just wide.
That's the sub who had come in just a moment ago, Marks. Check out the diagonal run there. Actually, he was open. I thought players were moving with him. And then it did free up the space, at least, for Rosansky. Here come the Terps again. Williamson accelerating. It's knocked out. It's going to be a corner. While we were watching that replay, Penn State made another sub. They brought back in Bringolf. That was the player who got hit in the head with that cross. And Marks, who was only out there for a few moments, almost was responsible for giving up a goal. So Danny doing just enough. And Bob Warming maybe saying, you know what? We better get Bringolf back out there, which is what they did. Zone marking again on this corner. Sadich high, headed in and caught. With a slow header, sort of floated toward the crossbar. And even though the crowd was oohing and eyeing because it went a long way, I think it was pretty comfortable for Amman. Pines headed it right into the leg of Cronale, and then it was picked up quickly by Sigue. But he couldn't keep possession. Nice work by Rosansky coming back to take it. High pressure here from Dayon Harris, causing all kinds of problems for the Terps. They got 3 defenders back there, and then a little too much pulling that time by Harris. But Terps had numbers. They could have moved the ball a little quicker. Early long ball on the free kick, blocked away by Bringolf, who is under pressure immediately after coming off the bench again. Good work there by Clerks. Did do a great job with the first touch, but recovered very nicely. Good skills as he's still moving forward. This is Mason Clerks, tried to slot it through. It's deflected away, but still alive for the Nittany Lions. Here's Cameron Steele with some room running forward, outride. Austin Maloney overlapping. Toward the back post, sailing into the arms of Cody Niedermeyer. Now the Terps coming back the other way. Rosansky running, but a lot of white shirts back behind the ball. Ireland was intervening there, and the ball was played in towards Elney. Now some room for Cody Albrecht, playing it over for Sulidenka. Into the ground for Sadich. Sadich turns. Puts on the brakes. Not a lot of movement up top from his players in the front line. On the right side, Odoy Atsam leaves it back for Alex Cronale. Sadich again. Cronale curling it in. Headed away by Sagal. Second ball is out. The Terps wanted a handball as it bounced up on Riley Grant. Nothing doing. Now the long ball over the top. He's onside. He was right at midfield. This is Dayon Harris coming in from a sharp angle into the box. Harris plays it, and it's a goal! Dayon Harris on the counterattack. There was no one for Maryland in this half of the field. It was incredible. He was standing right at the midway line, so no threat of an offside. And a very cool finish for Harris, who has the road team in front 1-0. Wow.
I have no idea how the Terps defense lost sight of Harris on this counter.
Just barely slots it through the legs of Niedermeyer. Incredible.
We saw his speed in the first half on the same exact play, but going the other way.
Yep.
This time he put it home. Kind of the slow pace of this game so far can no longer be slow for the Terps. Well, it's not time to hit the panic button. It's time to speed the play.
I don't understand what happened. He was just sort of waiting there. There was no one anywhere near him.
Not for 12, 15 yards.
Terps trying to respond. The long ball. A poor header. It's coming back for Williamson. Eric Williamson was there. It was a poor header from Bringolf. Remember, he got hit in the head a few minutes ago. And I think he was trying to flick that one back to the keeper. But Eric Williamson got to it first and couldn't do anything with it. Long distribution. Ahmad almost skipped past towards Harris again. High pressure now from Sigue. Nice running from Rosansky, weaving his way all the way toward the top of the box. Jake Rosansky into the penalty area, shoots,
Great
save,
shot.
the rebound is there, and blocked away. What a hit from Rosansky right at the keeper. And it's a good block, the first save of the game for Amman.
Rosansky put his foot through the ball. Great strike, created space.
The corner kick from Maryland taken by number 8.
So Gordon Wild, the team's leading scorer, is going to take the corner. They'll play it short. Right back to him. Second cross comes in. Glancing header from the defender. Still live for Rosansky. And knocked away. Last touched. I think it came off of Rosansky at the very end. They are giving the corner, though, so good break there for the Terps. You could see as Mitchell Bringoff going back, he didn't really see any point in arguing. He just told us, like, no, that was off him.
The corner kick from Maryland taken by number 10, Amar
Sadic. Curled in toward the mixer. Good defensive header. Still alive, though, on the far side. It's played right back into the 6. Cronale heads it. Another header still sitting
Ball
there.
down.
And cleared away. Mason Clerks. Anybody could have gotten to it. Still alive, though, for Maryland. Blocked Clerks again. The senior throwing his body all over the place to try to keep this 1-0 for Penn State. Now they have some possession coming out. Austin Maloney slots it down the line. Noah Pilato. Back for Maloney. Good recovery by Sebastian Elney to block the cross. Then he flicks it forward. Williamson giving chase. Taken there by Bringolf. Down the line for Austin Maloney. Subs coming in now. Elney coming out. George Campbell getting a chance for the Terps. And it looks like Connor Maloney, that man right there, number 5, is set to come back in. Not quite yet, though, it looks like. Coming up on half an hour left. 30 minutes for Penn State to hold on to this lead and start the season 2-0 in conference play. 30 minutes for the Terps to equalize. Nice ball in there for Wild. He went down. The referee saw the whole thing. Didn't want anything to do with it. That would have been a little hopeful, I think, for Wild going down there. He was well defended. Cornale going forward, battling with Reedy for Penn State. Throw in for Maryland. Rosansky. Sadic. Odoyatson back for Sadic. Weaving across the field. Denka with some room. Suli Denka in on the ground for Campbell, trying to take it with him in toward the penalty area. Blocked away. The Terps get it back with Eric Williamson. Denka again. Nice first touch.
Great first touch.
Here's George Campbell. His shot is blocked. There's Pierre Reedy battling with Eric Williamson. Does well to take it away. And then Pilato chips it up. Albrecht under pressure from Reedy. Into the middle of the field. A slow ball that just barely gets to Cronale. Lurking there was Harris, who almost intercepted it for Penn State. Harris is the goal scorer. It holds up as the game winner right now. Campbell, good work, working with Williamson. Nice return ball for George Campbell. 2 players slide in, and the referee not giving any foul. They sort of did the exact same thing, sliding into each other, and they both seem to be hurt
as well.
Yeah. Mitchell Bringoff already got smashed in the head with a cross, and now that knee is in pain, as you see just offside, just outside of your screen actually. Hopping around in the 18 is the Terps number 6, George Campbell. They sort of smashed into each other. Campbell's trying to walk it off. Bringoff got the worst of it.
Both players committed to the 50-50 ball, knee to knee. Obviously, Bringoff got the worst of it.
So the Terps have a second to catch their breath, get some hydration. Penn State gets to regroup, make sure their defense stays organized as they have been for the entire match. Terps had that corner kick, which they headed off the top of the crossbar. Then the counterattack goal on that long ball where Harris went in for about 60 yards all by himself and scored. And then after that, it was a good response. The best chance was Jake Rosansky dribbling at the defenders and firing a shot that was a powerful blast that was saved by the keeper. So the Terps trying to rally around each other, get some instruction from their coach now, as finally Bringolf is slowly getting to his feet. You can see him in the back of your picture there. This is that danger sequence where the ball was just hanging around there. The Terps were trying to do what they could. It was falling so straight down they couldn't really generate a lot of power for a header. And then that was finally dealt with by the Nittany Lions. So for the second time in this half, number 15, Mitchell Bringolf, is going to come off, and he's going to be replaced by Danny Marks. And then I think that Penn State kicked it out, so the Terps will throw it back in fair play. And now, as the clock starts rolling again, we can get going. 28.5 minutes, give or take. Amon with the long throw. Good step there by Cronale. And that ball was deflected off of Cronale as it sort of came spinning toward the sideline. Throw-in coming up for Penn State, which means they can bring a sub in. And number 5, their senior captain Connor Maloney is returning. And it is Aymar Sigay who's going out. Once he went out in the first half, we didn't see him again. We'll see if he will return. Sigay. He has been a dangerous player at times, but maybe his fitness isn't where it needs to be, because he has gone for long spells either on the bench or just sort of not involved. When he is involved, he looked pretty dangerous.
I think for Penn State, you want players who can keep the ball, possession.
Yeah, you got to be in shape now on the road defending a 1-0 lead. Good running from the Terps again. Sadich. It comes out for George Campbell. Tried to flick it through. There was an overlapping run all the way on the near sideline. Campbell didn't see him, so he tried to play it a little more direct in for Williamson, and it was beyond his reach. Amon again. Good step by Cronale to head it back. Rosansky tried to flick it forward. Blocked away instead by Clerks, and it comes for Pilado. Through ball intended for Harris. He was ridden off of his course that time by Pines. Posting up his Wild a little bit deeper than he likes to be. Seems as though that's part of the plan now, as Williamson and Campbell, the two strikers, and Gordon Wild has sort of dropped to that outside midfield position. We'll see how long that stays. Meanwhile, Penn State moving forward. Pilado working with Austin Maloney. Back for Clerks. Good possession now for Penn State. They haven't really knocked it around too much, but now they have the lead. They can force the Terps to chase. Long ball play down the line over the top. Out of play. The Terps have one come from behind result in conference play. They had that very late goal from Cronale in the tie at Indiana. That was with about 2 minutes left, give or take. And that was, they were a little fortunate on that goal, I think. The keeper didn't really get a good jump on it and couldn't quite squeeze that ball. It looked like it was sort of in his hands for a moment. Sometimes it helps to be a little lucky. Terps are once again staring a 1-0 deficit in the face in the second half. Good work by Doyatsam, cuts it back. Wild into the penalty area. Wild dribbling, fires a shot, is blocked, stays alive for Denka, and the flag is up for offside. Rosansky had drifted forward. I think he was going for the rebound of that shot, and they never got back on side.
And Sully couldn't do anything except to knock that back in, if you see here with the header.
Very aggressive run that time by Gordon Wild, weaving into the penalty area and then blasting that shot that didn't make it to the keeper.
And that's the kind of player Gordy is. Gordy can take on defenders, create space, but he can also get that ball on his left side and hit it.
He is a left-footed player, so if he starts on that right side, right, he's cutting it in naturally to the middle of the goal, and then he's got it on his preferred foot to fire. Cronulla under pressure, plays it ahead once again. Good work by Wild, who has it coming forward. He's got players with him. Gordon Wild again at the top of the box, tried to slide it through for Campbell, but the defenders had it well read that time. He had such a head of steam that time, I wonder why he decided to pass.
Yeah.
Diagonal ball. Right here to Pilato. Moving forward slowly. There goes the overlap from Austin Maloney. Maloney inside outside. Stood up there by Denka. Bounces up quickly. And now he's squeezed out. The ball's still rolling. I don't know if it's going to go out. And the foul goes against Maloney. Then he gets up in the face of Eric Williamson, who gives him a little shove. It was nice. His big brother came over to help him.
Yeah.
That's the captain, Connor Maloney.
Don't hit my brother.
That's right. Happened probably on the playground a time or two.
The Maloney brothers. It was good to see Sully come to the aid of Eric.
Williamson trying to flick it forward. Couldn't quite connect with it. 23 minutes to go. 1-0 for the Nittany Lions. The goal coming in the 57th minute from Dayon Harris on some sort of a defensive breakdown. A long ball was played over the top, and nobody for Maryland had any idea where Harris was. He was free at the midfield line and went all the way in and slotted it past the Terps keeper. Coming out is George Campbell for the Terps. You can see him. Well, he's limping a little bit as he comes off, so maybe that knee collision finally catching up to him. DJ Reeves coming in his place. Riley Grant is out for the Nittany Lions. Sam Bollinger coming in, and also Harris coming out. And returning for Penn State is 17, Cam Steele. So Coach Bob Warming trying to keep his players fresh as they try to close out this game. The cross from Maloney sailing harmlessly to the arms of the keeper. Wild again. Trying to do what he can to drive his team forward. Tried to chip it through for Sadic. It was blocked away again. Maybe those diagonal runs a little predictable. It's a well-organized Penn State defense. They seem to not have any trouble with those sort of diagonal balls through their back line. Dink with a long ball over the top. He actually dropped it in a nice place, but DJ Reeves was already sort of running toward the near post area and could not get back in time to get that ball. Ari Aman. Long distribution. Blocked away by the Terps, but controlled by Penn State. Tried to flick it through. Nice step that time by Donovan Pines to block it away. Sadish thought about that long ball instead, playing it simple. And now Sully Danka for the Terps. Looking for DJ Reeves over his head toward the end line. And it's smashed away. The substitute, Danny Marks, didn't want to take any chances with the speedy Reeves. Throw-in coming up. Sully Danka coming to take it. Cody Albrecht checking two. Instead, the long throw in toward the penalty spot. Flicked header, bounces straight up in the air, still alive. Reeves going after it, a collision. Penalty, penalty, penalty! DJ Reeves got to the ball first. He was clambered into by Cam Steele.
He got sandwiched.
And they are pointing to the penalty spot. Wow. That one is close.
I'm going to have to see that again to see if it was earned.
Certainly there's contact. Certainly it's a collision, but Let's see what happens. Keep your eye on number 11 there for the Terps.
Touch.
Wow, he goes down pretty easily. The
Got
ref
hit
didn't
in the
hesitate.
back. You know, it doesn't matter what we think.
Yeah, of course.
Right?
So now it looks as though Amar Sadic is going to be the man to try to convert from 12 yards away. The keeper, Amman, is ready. Here we go. Amar Sadic, number 10, steps up. And it's a goal. He slots it home. A cool finish, and we are tied 1-1. The penalty kick equalizing, and we're set to begin again with 20 minutes left.
Interesting to me, Tony, that Sadic takes the PK because Gordy Wild has taken the other two.
That's right.
Or the last two PKs for the Maryland Terrapins.
You know, when it first happened, I think that Wild went over to pick up the ball, and then I didn't see what happened. I think I was looking at the coaches, or maybe I was looking at you, Steve, and then when I went back to look, he was standing there with the ball. So I don't know if he just convinced him,
right,
or what happened. But as long as you make it, no one's going to argue. And we are back in play with 20 minutes to decide the outcome, plus another 20 if needed. High pressure there from DJ Reeves, a little late after that clearance, so he is just going to get a lecture. No card this time, but he was very late, sort of left his leg out there. Free kick back in their own at the edge of their defensive third for Penn State. We're tied 1-1. Deion Harris's goal wiped out by the penalty converted by Amar Sadic.
Tony, that goal brings the crowd back into play. Big shout out to Nick and Brendan, who are viewing in Ellicott City, Maryland.
Out wide for Denka. You guys, are you following those guys on Twitter?
Yeah.
What did they think of the penalty?
They thought it was right and just.
Right and just. Thanks for the input, everybody. The right back coming forward is Maloney. Throws it in for Pilato, back to Maloney. Nice driven ball all the way across to Reedy. Weaving forward, finally loses out. Sadic, the goal scorer, not neglecting his defensive responsibilities. And now Wild. Kind of an interesting mindset now for Penn State because, of course, coming in here, I think they would have been satisfied with a tie, but then the way they give up the lead is frustrating. So you get the sense with a case like that, they might be more willing to go forward and look for that second goal. But they've got to defend now. DJ Reeves, the man who drew the penalty, loses it. That was a creative play there by Bollinger, sort of throwing his shoulder at it to flick it forward. It went too far and got to Pines. But now the Nittany Lions have it back. Here comes Steele, working with Reedy. Flicked out wide. Steele again keeps it moving. Onside. Sam Bollinger near the top of the box. Coming free into the middle, this is Connor Maloney working backwards. Some space out wide for Noah Pilato. Puts on the brakes. Getting involved now is Mason Clerks. Gets crowded out there by two players. Bounces up quickly. Good skills. And then loses it. And then a great clearance from Suli Denk as it goes right out. This is a good response from Penn State. Good possession in the attacking third. A lot of players getting involved. The numbers forward. They're also bringing back in their goal scorer, Deion Harris. Going to the bench is Bollinger.
Harris again, that player that's got tons of speed, very dangerous. The Terps defense has their handful.
High pressure here from DJ Reeves, but it's really the Terps with a little lower pressure than usual. Usually they'd be all over that back line. Long ball played forward. Cronulla traps it, almost gives it away to Harris. At the last moment, Alex did just enough, and then Sulidenka sweeps it away again. Posting up is Connor Maloney, trying to turn, wins the free kick as he was squeezed out by Rosansky and by Albrecht that time. Penn State will keep possession. Nice turn there on the far side by Reedy. Coming in toward the attacking third, gets a nice bounce, still moving forward. It comes in the middle towards Harris, blocked away at the last moment, and the long ball over the top, headed importantly by Bringoff, because Reeves is very fast, and he was going to be off to the races. Good work by DJ to help win the ball back. Battling now with Clerks, who takes it away. The foul goes against Penn State. Restarted quickly. Sadich keeps it moving for Gordon Wild. Sadich got clipped. He's slow to get up. Wild, nice ball all the way across the field. Here is Denka. Sulidenka. Jake Rosansky crossing it in. Oh. The flag is up for offsides. He missed it anyway.
He was off. Great
nice
run
ball
by Gordy.
Rosansky. Yeah. Coming up on a quarter of an hour left. Still time for the game winner. And if we don't get in the next 15, 2 10-minute golden goal periods. Take another look at this nice ball from Rosansky. It's hard to tell from that angle, but it looked like he drifted deep a little bit. The Terps already have one conference overtime win. That's their most recent game early this week at Rutgers. The skills are by Rosansky, splitting through 2 players, and it's well intercepted there. Now streaking the other way is the center back, Bringoff, still coming forward. Gives it off for Dayon Harris. They keep it moving to the near side. Pilato, the early cross, and the center back continued his run all the way to the near post, but could not connect with that cross. So after those 2 knocks that he took, Bringoff trying to be the hero, making that long run. But now he's got a long way to recover as the Terps are coming back the other way. Slide it through for the speedy Reeves to the end line. DJ Reeves cuts it back, and it's well dealt with that time by Clerks. Still in play for Maryland. Donovan Pines. Sulidenka. Not a lot of movement there from the Terps. Checking to is Eric Williamson. And a little bit late that time was Clerks, who crashed into him. So a nice set piece opportunity here for Maryland. We'll see if the 2 big boys from the center of the defense go forward. Cronulla is making his way up there, and Donovan Pines, who looks a little bit more tired, is slowly walking forward. A lot of good options here. Rosansky and Sadich talking it over. Sadich looks like he's going to let him have it. With the right-footed player curling it in, just a little deflection could be enough because you could take the momentum from the ball.
2 6'5" fellas in the back post here for the Terps.
Here comes Rosansky, curling it in, past everyone and just wide. Yeah, sometimes you see that ball just sort of skip right in along that back post.
And sometimes it just takes a little skim off the head.
Yep.
Not a lot of power needed on a serve like that.
Some subs coming in for the Terps. Number 9, Sebastian Elney's coming in. And entering for the first time is number 13 for the Terps. That's Andrew Samuels. A straight switch as Cody Albrecht getting a rare breather. Samuels is a very versatile, very competent player. Also returning was Riley Grant for Penn State. It's a warm evening here just outside the nation's capital, so for these last 12 minutes plus potential overtimes, coach is trying to keep everybody fresh. Samuels, number 13 for Maryland, the freshest of all. He has not played at all today. Denkin on the ground. Nice touch from Rosansky. Well read by Bringoff. The freshman from Montreal has done a very nice job today defending. Toward the corner flag, DJ Reeves cuts it back. Still waking his way into the box. It's knocked away for a corner.
8th corner kick for the Terps.
One of them was dangerous, where Donovan Pines headed off the top of the crossbar. The other one that was most dangerous, they played short. So let's see what they have in mind this time. There's Sadich. Driven toward the back post, headed by Elney up in the air toward the keeper. And out.
There was that corner kick in the first half where Cody Albrecht stood on top of the goalkeeper.
Right.
He found it right at his feet. Maybe a back heel. He's 2 yards off the goal line with the ball at his feet.
Check in with Cody afterward to see
Yeah.
what was going through his mind at that point. Guy who doesn't score a lot of goals for Maryland. The goal kick headed forward by Riley Grant. Slotted through, onside, here he comes. It's Harris again, dribbles the keeper and scores! The first 2 goals of the season for Dayon Harris coming on the road in critical fashion. He's put his team in front for the 2nd time tonight, and the Nittany Lions are back in front.
An amazing run by Dayon Harris. The 3rd run that we've seen of him tonight. All 3 of them dangerous. 2 for goals. A great finish.
A nice through ball played by Pierre Reedy, who weighted it perfectly. A nice diagonal run, sort of was sneaking right in between the 2 center backs, and he knows what to do.
Terps have themselves in a hole here. Let's see if they can dig out.
Suli Denka has it. Terps are going to start throwing players forward. Denka chipping up into the middle. Nobody there except for Sagal, who smashes it away. Headed back by Cronale. Rosansky trying to work with Elney there. Intervening to smash it away was Pilato. Comes back in toward the attacking third for Maryland. Down a goal at home with 10 minutes to go. Rosansky and now Sadich. Some room for Odoy Atsem overlapping on the right side. There goes the cross in toward the penalty spot. Defensive header goes out for a corner. Amar Sadich going to take that corner.
No defenders back for Maryland. Everybody's going forward.
They'll have to keep an eye on number 10 if there is a counterattack. Sadich driving in toward the back post. Goes over everybody. They're running down the loose ball. Pines plays it back for Denka. Good fake to create some space. Pass Samuel. Stays alive though for Wild. Tried to turn to take it with him. Another counterattack maybe on for Penn State. Pierre Reedy, a little slow with it. And did just enough to keep it moving forward. It was deflected away from him twice. Nice step there by Odoy Atsem. Keeps it in play with a little Cruyff and is still moving forward. Odoy Atsem keeps possession working back for Denka. Long diagonal ball.
What a ball.
Wild is there. Little trouble bringing it down, but keeps it in play. Gordon Wild accelerating. Crosses it in. Diving header. It's loose now for Sadich. Plays it back for Denka. Keeps it moving for Samuels. Ball didn't really settle for any of the Terps to take a shot. They'll reset it. The early cross to the back post. Denka's there. Heads into the middle. Deflected away and now smashed out. The Terps coming back in with Cronale. Cronale shoots! Save! It's still alive. The rebound is there. Loose and swept away by Penn State. Controlled by Dayon Harris. What a good surge from the Terps. What a strike by Cronale.
Cronale hit all of it.
This is Connor Maloney. Slots it through again for Harris. Looking for the hat trick. Squeezed out that time by Pines. He got some help from Denka. And the Terps moving forward. 8 Nittany Lions just hanging out waiting for the Terps attack. 7:45 and counting. Denka with another long ball. A little too far that time. It skips and goes to the keeper. Amon has it, waving his players downfield. He caught the ball right with 7:36 on the clock, so he's held the ball about 10 seconds. Makes him kick it. Terps fans here always count off those 6 seconds to try to encourage the ref to make him play it. It rarely works. Here comes Noah Pilato into the attacking third. A lot of numbers back, so he's going to try to waste some time. Nice job to keep it alive. Working with Connor Maloney. Squirts back through for Pilato. Long ball played backwards. Terps almost had it with Sebastian Elney, but it rolled past him. And the Nittany Lions keeping possession. This is Reedy, the man who has the game-winning assist as it stands now, but he lost it. Long ball over the top. Here comes DJ Reed. He's got to step on the defender. It bounces up for him. Reed goes down. And it's going to be right outside. I think it's a foul, but it's going to be right outside the penalty area. Should be a card at least, though, for Bringolf. That's
the right
at the
top
call,
of the box.
It
is the right call. Was he in? I thought he was about 4 yards in.
He fell all the way. You can see.
See where the first contact is here on the replay.
The assistant ref over there, who may have a better view, but they're going to stop the clock.
I think
they're coordinating and they're talking through their. I thought it was outside the box. Looks like they were communicating with their wireless headsets there. They could be talking about whether it's a card. If he brings him down, so they're pointing to the penalty spot. Incredible, the second penalty. The Nittany Lions cannot believe it. Everybody talking about how far outside it was. I didn't see him give a card.
Coach Bob Warming on the Terp sideline.
All the way across the midfield line. He might get in trouble for that. And this time it's not Sadich. It is going to be Wild taking this penalty. Incredible. It seemed like he was talking to the assistant ref. It was not a very definitive point. He just sort of like waved his arm. And then I saw that the Terps were putting the ball at the spot.
Right. I have not seen the referee point to the penalty spot.
Yep. But there's no denying it now. Another penalty here for the Terps. Another opportunity to tie the game from the spot. It was Sadich who converted last time. This time, it's going to be the team's leading scorer, Gordon Wild. Can he equalize with 6 minutes and 12 seconds left? Here we go.
The official still conversing back and forth.
A little bit of commotion at the top of the penalty box there, where everyone's sort of battling to get as close as possible. Referee telling everyone to stay out of the box. Here we go. Wild shoots and he scores! Blasted past the keeper. We're tied again. 6 minutes and 10 seconds to play in regulation. Amazing.
So fortunate for the Terps. A second PK called late in the game.
Two
to get this tied.
Questionable PKs. I don't think. I mean, they could. The first one could have gone either way, maybe. That one, no doubt that it's a foul. But where did it come in? And we never really got a good look at the replay of where the contact occurred. It was near the box. And, of course, Reeves, a fast player, went down in the box.
It looked like Bringolf had some of the jersey and fouled from behind coming over.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell where he was in the box or if he was outside.
So we're tied again. And we'll see if the Nittany Lions can get that road lead for the third time. Terps now sensing if they were maybe a little fortunate to equalize. And now they can take advantage and create the game winner. There's a sub for the Terps. Number 7 is in there. Comes 3 for Sebastian Elney. Takes a touch a little too far away. So Sulidenka has been subbed out in favor of number 7. That's the sophomore Connor Smith from Clarksville, Maryland. That's the same hometown as Donovan Pines. So those two guys playing side by side. Not the same high school, though. Training staff is coming on for Penn State. The clock is stopped. And we'll reset the clock for you. And it looks like it's...
I think it's number 5, Connor Maloney,
yep.
The captain.
I didn't see what happened there, but training staff out there and all of his teammates are around him. 5 minutes and 22 seconds away from overtime. We're tied 2-2. Dayon Harris has twice put his team in front, and twice the Terps have equalized via a penalty kick. Amazing.
Yeah, unbelievable that you have 2 penalties called.
The Terps were creating a lot of pressure, and we're trying to throw players forward at both times. But, I mean, you've been watching this game a long time, Steve. That first contact on the penalty, you've seen it called, you've seen it not called.
Yep.
And then the second one, a foul for sure, but very close to the edge of the box. And I think probably could have gone outside.
Obviously, he fell in the box.
Yes.
But where was the foul?
Let's take a look and see if we can see what happened to Maloney here. He's been out there working pretty hard, so I'm not sure if he's just cramping up, but he's going to come off for a moment. He's taking that captain's armband off. Couple subs ready to come in. Dinka's going to return. He didn't get a very long break at all. And it's Rosansky coming off. And also coming in for Penn State is number 14. That's Mac Curran. We haven't seen him yet. So now, it seems like we're set to get going. And we'll see what happens if the captain can return or not. We're rolling at 5:15. Here we go. Slided through for Reeves. Back into the attacking third. Trying to angle his way into the penalty area. DJ Reeves accelerating into the box. To the end line, cuts it back, it's loose, blocked, and out for a corner. What a run by DJ Reeves.
Great run, very dangerous, just trying to get that ball across the goal mouth. That could go off, that could be an own goal,
Sure.
Could be a Terp goal. Just any foot.
I couldn't believe he took that extra touch. He was about a yard away and still took it all the way to the chalk. And they're ready for this corner. Someone's got to get over there and take it. Finally, Eric Williamson making his way over there. Tired legs out there. We'll see who can elevate. Find just a little bit of strength left in those calves to maybe knock in the game winner. Movement in the box. There it goes. Blocked away. Harris trying to turn. Denka keeps it alive. And then it's blocked out. Smith, not a great first touch. Blocked twice. And slided through. The Terps coming right back in. Williamson. Eric Williamson cuts it back. And then gives it away. That was a long way to go for Denka. Could be a 3-on-3 if Penn State hurries, but the pass is well beyond Aymar Sigay, who came back in. Dangerous ball in the middle, wow. Nice alert play by Bringolf, who has done a lot for Penn State today. Now the Nittany Lions can tell that the fatigue is mental also, giving that ball away. Now they're going to be under another siege from the Terps. Granale out wide.
Oh, what a move.
Good work by Wild coming into the box. Gordon Wild trying to tee it up. Excellent slide tackle to block it away. Another wonderful play by Mitchell Bringolf. He has done great today. Ball bouncing all the way in. Elney giving chase. And now it's swept out. Terps hustling, trying to get it in play quickly. Now they're going to wait for the long throw. Odoyatsem as we come up to the 3-minute mark. Now coming all the way over is Denka. And they're going to have Cronale come into the penalty area.
Let's go get the game winner.
The long high throw. Headed into the air. Still alive near the top of the box. Not a great defensive header. Sliding to keep it in with Smith, but it deflects off of Grant. And then good hustle by DJ Reeves to come back. Austin Maloney. In for Riley Grant. Keeps it moving backwards for Clerks. Long ball over the top. Headed away before it could get to Harris. Good possession here as we're under 2 minutes now. There goes the long ball. Straight down the middle for Harris, headed away by Cronale. Comes back out for Penn State. It was Curran who had it for a moment, but it's a foul. So let's take another look at that foul that set up the second PK.
And there's the contact.
I mean, he started fouling him outside the box for sure.
Outside the box.
Was there any portion of the foul that maybe happened right on the line? I guess maybe. On the far side, Wild hustling to try to win the corner, but it's last touched by the Terps.
I think we all agree it was a foul.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I think even when you saw the Nittany Lions arguing, they were just pointing to the outside of the box.
Right.
So 1 minute to go. Based on the body language of Aman here, he doesn't seem too focused on getting the game-winning goal before overtime. The next goal, if we make it to overtime, will be the game winner, and most likely, even if we don't make it to overtime, the next goal will be the game winner. One more look at the foul here. So he's leaning on him there.
There's
Comes
the
in behind,
contact.
sort of kicks at him. That's a tough penalty to give. Ball coming out toward the near side. Maloney cleared it. 20 seconds left. Sebastian Elney with one more chance. Not a great ball clearance there. Taken by DJ Reeves with 10 seconds. Connor Smith has to whip it in. Deflected. It's a corner.
Good corner. Can you
I'm
get
not
a
sure
corner?
There's going to be enough time. 3 seconds.
They got the ball.
2 sent into the middle. And there is the final horn. We are going into overtime. Incredible. Back-to-back overtime games for the Terps. And it didn't look likely with about 5 minutes to go. But you got another look at that foul a couple times. It was awarded as a penalty. Converted by Gordon Wild, his 7th goal of the year. And now, golden goal coming up. We'll have 2 10-minute periods. Overtime here at Ludwig Field, the home of the Maryland Terps. Penn State on the road. They were 6 minutes away from a second straight win to start Big Ten play, but a late penalty equalized for the Terps. That was the second time in the second half that they tied it up from the penalty spot. So we have extra time here. The next goal will be the game winner. Otherwise, they'll share the points. The Terps at home, wearing their black and red. Penn State all in white, in case you're just joining us. Overtime is about to begin. Golden goals. Here we go. In their last match in conference play, the Terps won on the road on a golden goal scored by Jake Rosansky, his first of the year. If Penn State manages to get the game winner, then they will be a perfect 2-0, tied at the top of the conference with Michigan State and with Wisconsin. Knotted back by Pines, and a little slow out of his area there was Niedermeyer to go pick it up. You have to be careful when you have a player like Dayon Harris lurking. He has both the goals for Penn State, and really doing most of the work himself on both those goals. Long ball skips through the leg of the defender. DJ Reeves was going after it. Smashed away by Penn State, out of play. Trying to take the throw in all the way down the field near the edge of the attacking third. That's where the ball went out. When it goes out so high in the air, it's hard for the referee to know. But the ball is back in play with the Terps. Rosansky over to Andrew Samuels, changing the point of attack. Denka. Sadic. Williamson squeezed out there. Good defending by Maloney, who took it away, but then he lost it. Slotted toward the corner flag. Denka applying high pressure, and good job by Maloney keeping his balance, even though he was shoved. Managed to give the throw in instead of the corner.
Well done by Sully Denka not to foul in that situation. Gets a throw in.
Throw in comes back for Samuels. Cronale knocking it back into the center circle for Donovan Pines. Terps reloading. Rosansky plays it out wide, gets it back. Some room for Samuels. Long diagonal ball looking for Odoy Atsem. Not a bad idea, but just a little bit off target and out. It is a throw in though, so the Terps can come apply high pressure. Brandon Ireland going over to take it. Headed by Grant. Odoy Atsem working with Gordon Wild. Bounces off a defender. Trying to tee up that left-footed shot. Instead keeps it moving on the opposite side. There goes the cross toward the back post. Players crashing in a little bit too far and out for a goal kick. I think you have to give your player credit, Steve, when you can drop the ball into the box. Once it hits the ground, the usually advantage to the offense, but none of the Terps could get to it that time.
Now just a little bit over the coverage there, right at the back post. A good look by Sully Denka.
Good skills by Odoy Atsem to control it right on a dime there, but couldn't do anything with it and then lost out. Wrestling to try to get it back. It comes free for Dayon Harris. Harris accelerating. Numbers back for the Terps. But Dayon Harris, dangerous anyway, curling it in. Blocked. And then Wild still battling for it. Good step there by Ireland, and using his good skills there, Wild did well to get the free kick. Cronale played it quickly, trying to play it through for Reeves. Yep, but he sliced it a little bit. Throw in for the Nittany Lions. Taken by Clerks. Long ball over the top. Headed away by Pines. Second ball. Run down by Denka. Brings it to the near side. Odoy Atsem. Rosansky. Again, trying to play it toward that corner flag for Reeves. Good step there by Samuels, who hit the turf hard. And now it's picked up by Sigue. His long diagonal ball is asking a lot of Reedy. Pines is there, and Reedy does well to get to the end line first, but couldn't knock it off of the Terps player. Goal kick.
Donovan Pines does well to shield the player and gain the goal kick.
Sigue heads it back and sort of blocked by Samuels and falls for Denka. Williamson, that last touch a little bit too far away, but the Terps get the second ball back. Denka out wide for DJ Reeves. Cuts it back toward the end line. Into the penalty area. Cuts it back. It's loose. And it's a goal. The game-winning goal by Gordon Wild. Game over. The Terps win. The golden goal has kept them perfect at home. 4 wins in 4 tries.